Well, I attempted liposuction. I didn't get liposuction. I attempted it. I almost died from the anesthesia.
Oh my God, you didn't even get the girl. You didn't even get to the faja.
I woke up in a coma and I'm still fat. Wait a minute.
Hey, it's your girl Nancy Red, and this is Mompreneurs, where we celebrate beautiful Black entrepreneurs who are also amazing moms. Each week, I'm chatting with my guests about how they are killing it simultaneously as a business mogul and as a mom. We're listening to their inspiring journeys and incredible advice. And I'm so excited about this week's guest. She is a true force in fashion and in life. She's a celebrity stylist, she's an author, an entrepreneur, reality TV star, interior decorator, and most importantly, she is a devoted boy mom. Tameka Foster is the creative visionary behind the looks of icons like her ex-husband Usher, Janelle Monáe, Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige, Patti LaBelle, Jay-Z, and so many more. But her style also radiates on the page as the author of books, in the animated world, and on TV as a reality star. Tameka, thank you so much for joining us today. We have so much to talk about.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So much fun. You are just someone who never gives up. You continue to grow. You navigate the joys and heartbreaks of life and of motherhood. So we are grateful that you are here to share a little bit about who you are and your mompreneurship. And to get started, we always ask everyone, who puts the mom in your mompreneurship? Who are your babies?
Pick one. I've got a bunch. No, but my oldest son, he's kind of grown up with me. I had him at age 19. So we kind of have like a long history of he's seen all of it. You know what I mean? He knows where all the bodies are buried, honey. No, my oldest son is my guy, honestly. I always say he has to put the mom in it first, because he's the first and foremost. But they all do. So, but I can name them all. Okay, so then there's Darren, and then of course there's Ryan, and then my angel baby is Kyle, who inspires me every day to just be great and to kind of live out loud in his honor. Then I have Cinco, and then of course my youngest is Naveed.
And it's wild because Naveed is 17, Cinco is 18. Like, how do we get here? I laughed. I asked you, how do we get here? And what did you say right before we got on?
I'm not telling you.
No, I know. But
lots of practice.
Practice is one way of saying it. And, a lot of people focus so much on your celebrity ties that they don't realize so much has happened and you have accomplished so much before that chapter. You've been a mompreneur as long as you've been an entrepreneur because, like you said, you had Darren at 19. Had you already started at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising when you got pregnant with him?
No, actually. So I had Darren in Oakland. That's where I'm from. I'm from Oakland, California. I had him and I guess he was about 9 months old, and I decided to move to LA, and then I went to the Fashion Institute. So I went to fit him. He was about 2 years old. So it was something that I've always been interested in terms of fashion. And, I worked in a boutique. My family owned a boutique called Eureka. It was a pre-owned clothing store, like a vintage store. And that's where I kind of got my feet wet a little bit in the fashion and style thing.
Yeah. That's what I love about it, because your aunt. Is this the same Aunt Sadie that's on your gram?
Aunt Sadie, honey, that's her. She'll be 102 in February.
That's what's amazing, because I actually started this podcast because I genuinely believe that generational wealth in the Black community is built with businesses, right? So hearing your story, hearing the stories of all of our mompreneurs is so important, because your 100 and almost 2-year-old Aunt Sadie, so much has changed, but she inspired you, and look how far that's taken you.
And she's still I would always say, I call her my twin flame, because we have so many parallels. But our love of style, of course, that would be one. But she's just her take on life, her candor, everything. I adore her. She's like a mentor to me still.
I mean, she got started in such a different time. Segregation, there was no social media. The world that you mompreneur in is very different than the world she saw growing up. What does she say about all that you've accomplished, your incredible home, the world that you live in?
She's very, very proud of me. She always says, well, you should have consulted with me before you left your husband's, because I would have stayed. That's her biggest piece of advice.
Well, I think that's wonderful. And it's wonderful to have inspiration. And it's also wonderful to learn and grow because, I mean, that's what this whole life is about. You have evolved so much. You've expanded so much beyond just styling. But that's where you began. And you began with an inspiration and a young son. What was it like trying to navigate the exciting world of fashion, trying to be a stylist, trying to get your name out there, and also parenting?
I know it was trial and error, honestly. I had to learn a lot. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes. I did some poor fashion choices. I'm not saying I'm like the end all be all of style, but I think that over time and through trial and error, I kind of have become that. I've learned from my mistakes. That is for sure. It was a lot to juggle. Having to go to school. I went to the Fashion Institute, as you mentioned, and having to take him to school and then pick him up. And, he was a little boy, and pack his lunch in the morning. And, I had to work on the side. I was working in retail, trying to, balance it all and also have money and things like that. And I was a single mom. When with my first child, his father passed away when I was 3 months pregnant. So a lot of people don't know that as a single mom, I had to persevere and figure it out. I had a lot, and I was young. I was too young to even be trying to figure out anything about how to navigate being a mom and a business, like soon to be business person and student and all these things. Yeah. And living in Los Angeles.
And this is like before cell phones. This is before life was so
Yeah,
easy.
this is before
And
cell
this
phones. Oh
was
my
before if you were going to be late, you couldn't just text the babysitter.
I didn't even think about that. This is just something you're bringing to mind, but I did not think about the fact that I didn't have a cell phone. I don't know how the heck I made it in life. I don't even know. Yeah, you have to, now I think we're so spoiled that I had to memorize all this stuff, like people's phone numbers and call them before I leave and call them when I was on my way back. And I didn't think of that. You're right.
That's right. You've done a great job. I mean, it has been a journey. And it's easy to forget how hard it is. And so when you see new moms and you were out here, you didn't have connections, you had the love and prayers of Aunt Sadie, but you didn't know anybody. What was your big break when you're out here just trying to make it?
It was really hard. I didn't even know what to charge when I first got into the game of styling. I remember someone asking me what my rate was. And I was like, rate? What is a rate? Because I was used to having jobs that pay me by the hour. I didn't have salaries and stuff then. And so I'm coming from a world of retail where, $10 an hour was like a good job back there. It's 90s, I was balling with $10 an hour. So when they asked me my rate, I was just like thinking to myself, what's a good amount? Okay, $200 a day would be good, 250. So I said like 250 and I was all happy, but I didn't know the stylists were making like $1,500 a day back then. So I got
Which is like $10,000 a day now.
But listen, I got a lot of work by default by not knowing. It actually worked to my advantage. It was a blessing that I gave such a low rate and had such a good eye, because you pair those together. And I was working so much because they're probably like, bring this dumb girl back. She's working for peanuts. Let's get her. But of course, I soon found out. It didn't take long. But I had already had a client base by the time I really found out what the real rate should have been. Okay, I'm $2,500 a day. Like, wait a minute, I'm over here doing this wrong. And I learned quickly how to, get my rates in order. And yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. And I did it on my own. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have anybody to kind of guide me on how to style. I literally was going in stores and just buying everything on my credit cards and writing checks, trying to get all my clothes, and then waiting for the money to be back into my account once I did the returns. It was very hard in the beginning. I didn't know that you could pull the clothes. I didn't know about studio services and things like that.
Well, but it got you here, and some of the clients you've had for decades. You just recently styled Patti LaBelle. Like you keep clients for a really long time. Why is that? Why do you think people stick with Tameka Raymond?
People know that I'm going to go above and beyond. They know that when I come to a shoot, I'm not coming with the bare minimum. I'm not coming with an exact number of looks. I'm going to give them everything the stores today have to offer. Like, I really come with a variety. I feel that Patty is a different, that's a whole different ball of wax. She's like family at this point. I've worked with her for, I want to say 30 years. 30 years. I mean, we haven't been working as much over the past couple of years, but we just did an American Express commercial. So we do still work together and do things here or there. But Patty has a well-oiled machine, and she can just call a designer and say, "Hey, make me a suit. I want a purple one," and then here it comes. Tomorrow, there's a purple suit. So, yeah, it's a little different with her, but I think that the key to longevity in it is, of course, being very professional, always to reinvent yourself and keep fresh ideas and concepts coming to your clients.
Absolutely, and you're doing a great job of reinventing yourself in a bunch of different ways. Like the beautiful house that
Thank
you're
you.
in, you did not hire anyone to decorate
No,
it.
not a soul,
This
not a
this was
soul.
this was a fixer upper.
This was the worst fixer upper anybody in the world would want to
I'm not
see.
I'm not gonna say that because no, it was great.
Nah, this
No, no,
was on
no.
America's Ugliest Houses, kind of the home edition. This was, I could have had a show for sure. No, the house was like a haunted, it looked like a haunted castle, I would say. And I totally gutted it down to the studs. Like you could see through every room because I took all the sheetrock and all the insulation out, and I did every selection for the home, like every paint choice, every trim, baseboards, all the windows. I designed all. I sketched everything. I did it all myself. I counted, my lighting package and chose everything on my own. I'm really proud of it. It's my first really big project. I have renovated, like, bathrooms and kitchens and built closets, custom closets, but I've never done like 6,000 square feet on my own as the general contractor and everything. It's been a labor of love, I'd say.
Is
Yeah,
this going to be a new spoke in your mompreneur wheelhouse? Are we now going to be seeing
absolutely.
Tameka styling houses as well as people?
I really want to transition to doing homes. I feel like, after you style for so long and you've styled like all the, big eight clients that I've done, a lot of A-list people, like Jay-Z and all these people I kind of think I've reached my peak in styling, if you will. I haven't done a feature film. That is something that I'm a little interested in as well. It's like to get into like seeing it on the screen. But aside from that, I think that it's time to kind of move on and kind of go to like higher levels. Now I'm working on my clothing line, which is Eli Kish. And that's your kind of comfy, cozy gear that you can wear from like a Zoom call, or you can go onto a flight, or you can get into a cabana. I always say from the couch to the cabana. So, yeah, my clothes are very wearable. I like natural fabrics. I love silk on women. I think that women, I think we emulate silk. We should, at least. We should move like silk and we should flow, whereas men are more tough and, they're more like armor, and women should be silk. And so I believe in a lot of silk fabrics and cottons and all kinds of natural fibers. So, yeah, I think I'll do my clothing line and I'll focus on my home design. Yes.
Well, your fashion sense has passed on to your children, it seems, because every time, I mean, the pictures you posted of Cinco going off to prom, which I cannot believe he just turned 18. This is wild. He was looking
Yes.
great. Now, did he pick out his clothes or did you pick out his clothes? Did
I
you
actually
style
had,
him?
guess what? I did not style him. And this is a shout out to Jeremy. He's amazing. Jeremy, I know IG Jeremy styled him, and he did a great job. I mean, I made suggestions. Of course, I had my input, like, oh, I don't like those shoes, or what are those? And I want him to have, and, I don't like the guys wear those little short pants where their ankles are out and they don't wear socks. Like, it's kind of a pet peeve. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine as a stylist. So, I had my input for sure, but I did not choose what he wore to prom. But he has good taste. It was his idea. He wanted gloves. He had on leather gloves. He had he put his touches in.
And then here you are. I laugh because he surprised you with his prom outfit, and Naveed surprised you when he put out his debut single that he wrote and produced all by himself in stealth mode. And
Oh, he styled himself as well. He asked. Now I was at his photo shoot. He see, at least Naveed has the mind and the sense to utilize what he has. So he's like,
which
Mom,
is his
I need you to be
mama.
my. Right. I'm like, use your mom for something. But yeah, I was at his photo shoot. I was, I guess, a little bit creatively involved with that. But he chose what he wanted. I brought a few options, but he was like, no, no, no. I have a look I'm going for. This is all about 2K. I'm doing all the stuff from the early 2000s. And I'm like, that's my genre. Like, hello. And
I
he still
am
wouldn't.
the early
I'm
2000s.
like, hello, do you know who I am? That's when I was at my peak.
That's like when George Clooney just said that his son went to Halloween as Batman, and he was like, what's Batman? And his son was like, but yeah, but you weren't really Batman.
Oh my God. He was like, what? No, my kids definitely think I'm chopped liver. When it comes to style, they don't listen to anything. They won't even wear a coat outside. I'm like, it's cold. I do know temperatures. I do know the way you should feel. I don't want you to be sick. No, they don't even want to wear a coat. So I can't even. I just let them do what they do.
Well, and I think that's really good, and it's hard because not only are they your kids, but they're celebrity kids. How did you craft a life with your children so they feel comfortable being themselves and being private and still having their passions?
I encourage them to, number one, always remain grounded. Like I impress upon them the importance of like calling family, like call your grandfather. I don't care how busy your life is. I don't care if you're doing a Instagram commercial or whatever it is. You got to stop and call your grandfather. He's 84. So I think I'm from Oakland, California. That's one of the most down to earth towns probably in the nation. That's their mother. That's the basis of who they are. So, I'm from Oakland, and I come from very humble beginnings. I've never let anything about this life get to my head. I know how things come, things go. And I always explain to them that just, always practice and show gratitude, and that's for all of my children. Gratitude is the attitude. And if you're not grateful for what you have now, it'll be hard for you to acquire more in the future. So always be grateful and always pray and thank God for what you have. That's what I start with. And as far as them being celebrity kids, I guess they are, but they really like normal lives. They don't even like to leave the house half the time. Naveed just loves to hear live music, so he goes to a lot of concerts. But my Cinco, he's in the house. He doesn't want to go anywhere.
Well, Naveed, when he's out, he's stealthily working on his music. Does Cinco have any musical aspirations? What do you think he's going to do now that he's 18 and going into the world?
I hope he becomes a lawyer because he can argue and debate anything. And he's very analytical, to be an 18-year-old. He always has a good take on it. He's very fair, like, on any side of, of the argument. And I hope that he decides to go after law, but I don't know what he's actually going to do. He has a kind of artistic eye. He likes to draw and things like that. He loves photography. I mean, the world is his oyster. He can do whatever he wants. And I told him that. Just know that you are 18. You have the whole world ahead of you. And you have any option. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Well, like you show it by example. I know you called yourself celebrity adjacent, but you've been in the spotlight yourself as Tameka even before Usher, right? You've been doing it as yourself, and you've actually done two reality shows 10 years apart, which I think that's really interesting. Because who were we 10 years ago? Like 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. I think is it 2024 when Atlanta X's was?
Yeah.
And so 2014, you did Atlanta X's, and then 2024, 10 years later, you did Bold and Bougie. And also, it was a distraction. Let's be honest, okay? Because let's go back. In your early 40s, you were navigating a lot. You had young sons, loss, two divorces. You had to maintain a career all while grieving
custody battles. I was dealing with everything.
Like, girl, okay? So now that you're on the other side, okay? Because I'm in my 40s. I'm in the difficult time. There's chaos and tomfoolery always knocking at my door.
Tomfoolery. Just waiting outside your office, child.
So all of our goals is to get to the 50s. All of our goals is to get to a more peaceful time. So what advice would you give younger Tameka? When you look back at Atlanta X's Tameka, when you look back at that difficult time that you had so many irons and so many fires, what advice would you give that Tameka?
To always remain in a beautiful state. I talk about that. I wrote a book about it. I'm working on a book that actually will go on pre-order and on New Year's, on my birthday. But I have to tell you, it's about remaining in a beautiful state. Life will come at you. Life will be chaotic. So much will happen. It's a given. That's a part for the course. But you have to mentally remain in a beautiful state. you deal with whatever it is, but the more positive and in a good space and a good mindset, things will work itself out. If you get chaotic with life, it'll give it right back to you. So always remain in a beautiful state is what I would tell myself.
It's an important lesson. And you mentioned your book. You're an author twice. We'll talk about your second book in a moment. But your first book, I love the title of White Bras and Other Faux Pas. And you actually dedicated it to all who consciously strive to being a better you. And that's what you're talking about. Because I think that is a lesson, the earlier you learn it, the easier difficult times become.
That's right. That's right. White Bras was just a book. It was like slapstick kind of comedy, but it was funny takes on like do's and don'ts, fashion do. And I don't even call it fashion. It's style do's and don'ts, because style is the way that you do anything in life. Your style is how you enter a room. Your style is how you do your home. Your style is how you dress, of course, the obvious one. But your style is the manner in which you do things. And so that's what White Bra is called. White Bras and 101 style faux pas. So there's just like 101 fashion tips in that book. I plan to re-release that book. Hopefully, I just don't have time. I'm writing so much stuff because right now I'm working on Soul What Now? Oh, Soul Now What? I'm saying it backwards. And so that's what's coming out in January. So I'm just busy writing, busy designing, just creating.
I love that. And books are, I mean, as someone, I write books. Books are how I heal. I think it's very important. It's how I like to change the world. It's like how I like to put my perspective out there. And you are no stranger to putting your perspective out there. Your second book was Here I Stand in a Beautiful State. Exactly what you just talked about. These are the things I'd have told younger Tameka, because this book came out in 2021. And it was basically you setting the groundwork for your side of the story, because for so many years, reporters asked you for bits and pieces. People don't know a lot about who you actually are from, all of these different things that have happened. The divorce from Usher, almost dying from liposuction, just your son's untimely demise.
I had attempted liposuction. I didn't get liposuction. I had attempted it. I almost died from the anesthesia.
Oh my God, you didn't even get the girl.
No,
you didn't even get to the Baja.
Listen, I woke up in a coma, and I'm still fat. Wait a minute. It wasn't even worth it. That's the funniest joke about it. That's the gotcha about the whole thing. I didn't have the procedure. I was trying to have the procedure. And listen, I was all for it. I was happy and getting ready to come back skinny and snatched, as they say. And no, I had an allergic reaction to the actual going under part. So they didn't even do the performance. They didn't even start. As soon as they put the chemical or whatever, the formaldehyde or wherever they put in me, because I went into cardiac arrest.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they didn't even start the procedure. Nothing happened.
Well, what's wild about that is that's horrible. I didn't even know they didn't even start the procedure. But you see everyone now, the younger, I'm going to lump you in with the younger celebrities and celebrity adjacent individuals who are just doing BBLs and doing surgery like I'm going to go get a facial. Do you feel
they do it in the closet right here. They don't even have to. I bought a flight and a hotel and a doctor. Please, they get their homegirls to do it now.
Well, you might be dead if you had done it like that.
Oh yeah, no, I would be dead for sure. Yeah. I think that I had just had Naveed. My son was probably like 3 months old when I went, and it was far too soon. I was dealing with all kinds of just self-image issues, and I thought I was so fat, and now I'm heavier than I was even after I had my son. And back then you couldn't tell me because I was in that spotlight and I felt a lot of pressure. And I was like, I'm just going to go get lipo. I know what I'm going to do, because it was just such a common, thing for people to do. And no, my body was like, no, you're not. You're going to sit down and you're going to wait till this fat falls off. My body was like, no.
Well, it's a lot of pressure. Again, you had just had Naveed, and you were in the Hollywood world, and
then I was a celebrity.
Exactly. So when you look at this, it's not a surprise that 3 months after you felt comfortable putting yourself at risk.
It was rough. It was rough. It was a tough time, but God had other plans for me, apparently, because I survived. Okay, I came out on the other side of it, and they said I wouldn't have any memory and all this stuff. I think my memory may be a little affected by it, but I'm also old too, so it could be a little bit of both. It's a combo. But I think that I learned a lot from that, and that the things that you see on yourself, other people don't even notice. Sometimes I think we're paranoid about and social media has really messed it up worse, because that was back that happened to me in 2009. But in today's world, I feel so sorry for these girls.
I don't know how you would have survived because
Ah,
people were coming for you, via postal mail. Can
90
you
going north.
can you imagine what it would be like? Because I mean, we think about what happened to Michelle Obama. Do you ever see like when these celebrities and these celebrity wives are going through the mud, being dragged by social media? Do you ever think
Yes.
is it like PTSD?
I see it, and I just always want to tell them it's not as amplified as it feels at the time, because I always felt like when I would go into stores that everybody was looking at me, and I didn't realize that we are just one little pocket of the world. You know what I mean? Like when you look at what's happening on social media or in the blogs back then, it was, blogs were really a big, all the rage. And I used to go into stores in my neighborhood and think like, oh my God, I bet they read what people said about me. And these people don't know anything about that. They don't even know what the blog is. So, I was just paranoid. It makes you really get in your head, and you will do something dumb like fly to Brazil and nearly die, with a 3-month-old child, highly irresponsible. It was just a decision I made, like very spontaneously. I didn't think it through. And to this day, I still don't know what went wrong. But I learned, obviously, to sit my tail down and just deal with my little role. It's fine. It's going to be okay.
Now, it's just so hard. And one thing you think it's amplified because, especially in the Black community, it feels like we all read the exact same news, right? We're on Madame Noir,
Yeah.
we're on
Yeah.
all of the I1 channels, just like reading this, and
Yeah.
it can feel a little bit amplified because it's a very small community, right? Do you feel that Black celebrity women in particular have it more difficult? Like, do you feel like their bodies are examined and their expectations and pressures placed on them more so?
Well, I think just the Black community as a whole, um, we are not as supportive of one another as other communities. I think that other communities rally around each other. I was being beat up by women that look like me. You know what I mean? By other women, probably named Tameka or some kind of a Ika, Shaniqua, Anika, Shamvika, some of them, and they were killing me in the blogs and in the and instead of championing, standing behind me and saying, "Go, girl, go, go, make your family work. You guys are like." You guys are goals, or as they say. I wasn't getting that. It was like, ugh, she's old, she's ugly, she's horrible. But they didn't realize, like, oh my God, she's a person that's from the inner city like me. She's a person that pulled herself up by her bootstraps and went to school for fashion and was a single mom like me. She's a brown skinned chocolate woman like me. I thought that those people would be behind me, like, go, girl, go, go, make it work, make it work. And they weren't, and they really weren't. Um, of course, I'm healed from it. I'm fine. It's even awkward talking about it, 15 years later. But I know that there are women that are still going through stuff like that where they're not feeling supported. And I just want them to know, keep their head up and keep going, and you will. That too shall pass. It's sad though. We as Black people, Black women, we have to do better about supporting one another, and that even goes for, besides the relationships, support in business as well. As a Black female entrepreneur, I see my peers. They will run into the mall and they will go and give Balenciaga and Gucci and Fendi and Tom Ford all of their money, but they won't order one of my jackets. And my jacket is a fraction of the cost of a $3,000 Gucci version, which looks just like my military jacket, for example. Or when I come up with my silk pieces where I'm having to scratch and survive to get all my materials and things that I'm self-funding, they don't support as much, but they'll go and give somebody, $1,500 for a dress that they'll wear for one night. We have to, as a community, become better about supporting each other. Buy Black. I mean, I'm not saying don't buy the others. Don't get me wrong. I'm not racist or anything like that. But support us. You have to support us because it doesn't even take that much to just keep us going. You know what I mean? If you just buy one item, if you got one of my t-shirts, you know what I mean? Or one of my blouses in your closet amongst your other 150 luxury LVMH, items, it would be really, really nice to keep my business going as well. I don't think we have learned enough of that in our community. We're a little bit like crabs in a barrel, to be honest.
It's interesting because I've had many mompreneurs on here that talk about the importance of the community. Mess in a Bottle, she is an incredible t-shirt entrepreneur who
Yes.
who expanded to jackets and other products, and she's very candid. Everyone go check her out. She's incredible. And you are
I would love to.
also you are very fortunate that yes, there are individuals who are less than supportive of Tameka than they could be, but you also have some incredible supporters, some of whom are also mompreneurs.
Absolutely.
Manietta, she is
Oh my
a
gosh.
gem. You
Keep it
two,
classy nails. Love her.
I know. So the two of you, do you get together and you talk about, okay, how are we going to make our little hustles happen?
You know what? We should get together more, but listen, we are peas in a pod. Even if I don't see Mo, because Mo lives on the other side of town. She
Okay.
lives far. But Mo and I support one another for sure. Mo will support whatever I'm doing, and I support her. I'm proud of her and her journey with Keep It Classy and all her different businesses. She supported me when I had my retail shops. Mo, I believe Mo ordered one of my jackets. Mo has one of my Eli Kish dresses. Yeah, see, and that's just those little glimmers of support really make a huge difference.
And you have helped and are still shaping so many incredible celebrities, right? And it's one thing though, it's hard to make the transition from I'm going to style you to I have my own line. Is that something that as you come out with your new line that will take us from the couch to the
Cabana?
The couch to Cabana. What is the name of your brand again?
It's Eli Kish. It's actually that's a play on my son Kyle's name. Kyle was Kyle Ishmael. So all of my businesses have his name sprinkled in them. Even my interior design business, everything. I'm really a staunch believer in keeping his legacy alive. When he passed away, that could have been it for me altogether. And I decided that if I were going to continue working, continue doing business, that I would honor him, in all that I do. So of course I have the Kyle's World Foundation, which is in honor of him.
That's 14 years old at this point. You announced Kyle's World Foundation on what would have been his 12th birthday.
That's exactly right. You're good, girl. You know.
Love
that.
I think it's really important. I mean, what I really love about it is that you and your son, Ryan Glover Jr., who I just gotta say, graduated from UPenn. Congratulations, Mom.
He did.
Very impressive, because this is all part of being a mother and an entrepreneur. Your business I do not think it's very possible for us to compartmentalize very well. You are not a compartmentalizer. What is the phrase? A person only dies the last time their name is spoken.
I have never heard that, and the no truer words have been spoken. I love that.
And you do so many different things for his memory, even with multimedia.
Yes.
What's going on with The Odd Life of Kyle Lyles? Excuse me, what is The Odd Life of Kyle Lyles?
The Odd Life of Kyle Lyles is a beautiful story about a middle child that has like the middle child syndrome, all the issues, and it's very funny, and he ends up having something special about him. He has a special gift, and it's nothing sad or morbid or anything about the story. It's very good, and it's great Black animation. My animator is based in Ghana, actually. And the book is ready. It's done. It's written. The illustrations are done. It's just now getting it all laid out. Shout out to DL Warfield, who's doing that for me to get all the illustrations, get all the text on the pages. But the Odd Life of Kyle Lyles is hopefully going to be a cartoon that we see on our major television networks sooner than later.
And I think that's a good, you have a bubble of support around you. I know you're still looking for the professional team. Anybody out there, there's a bunch of profitable ideas that Tameka has waiting to happen. What about from the other side? Are there any mentorship or community programs that you're involved with at helping other people?
I want to start one actually. My son, my son told me that my son that graduated from Penn. He said, man, the dating world for my age group is really hard. He said, because there's not a lot of women like you out there. He said, and mom, I think you should mentor women. You should mentor girls and help and reach back. He said he mentors kids every week in the world of finance, which he works for Morgan Stanley. But he said that I should mentor. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea. That's my way of giving back. So I am going to start mentoring. I am going to start doing like Zoom calls where I mentor for like 30 minutes. And I'm going to try to do it at least once or twice a week.
What's interesting is I think you've actually lived the life, right? You've done you were there. You've done the things.
I've done it a few times over. I've done it. Listen, I haven't even mastered all that I want to master. I'm not like, I'm not Oprah Winfrey level. And, there's things, I have goals and things that I'm, still working on. But I think for me to be, a middle-aged woman, I think I've done and accomplished a lot, and I think I've figured out a lot. There's still things I'm still learning every day. I haven't perfected life, but I have a grasp of, of how it should go. And I definitely have a lot of toolage to offer to young girls in their 20s for sure.
And I think that if your son is telling you there's not a lot of women like you, you have won the game, okay? Because that is the highest of compliments.
A compliment.
So and to that point, with the things that you've done, you still have so much left to do. I can't let you leave without participating in my favorite segment, which is called Mompreneurs Manifestation, where I always ask our guests what they're trying to make happen and how we can help bring it into the universe for you. We mentioned some of it already, but if you could just pick one thing.
I want to see my clothing line, Eli Kish, do really well. I want to see it. I don't want it so commercial that we're like in like Federated stores and it's just everywhere. I'm not trying to become Fashion Nova or anything like that, but I would like for it to be a luxury brand that is respected amongst, that can run with the top of them for sure.
I'm excited. Where is it available now? Where can people find it? I am going to get some silk.
Well, soon I will have the website is going to be updated within the week, hopefully, because we did Atlanta Fashion Week. We had such a great response. People have been asking me, like I get messages every day, where can I order this? Where can I order that? So before I launch my whole pre-sales for the clothing, I want to make sure I have everything, all my ducks in a row, like manufacturing and shipping and, how we're going to have all the logistics right for it. But it'll be available soon, probably closer to the top of the year, I'd say.
Okay, well, I am going to be one of your first customers. I'm sure there's many more people online for me, but I am very excited. And we are going to put that link in this description. And where can people find you to keep up with that?
I really only use Instagram. I'm bad. I have a TikTok as well, but it's at Tameka Foster on Instagram, and I think my Facebook is probably Tameka Foster or Tameka Raymond. They're all linked together, so I don't think they're the same though for some reason. But yeah, at Tameka Foster, Tameka Foster, Foster, or Tameka Raymond.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here with us. This was great. I'm so excited about all your endeavors. I'm so excited about your interior decorating.
I'm so excited about that. It's kind of, they're very much the same. I don't choose anything for a home that I wouldn't wear. No colors, no palettes, no textures. Everything I put in my home would be something I'd wear in some kind of way.
Well, it's gorgeous, and so are you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And thanks to all of you for listening to and watching Mompreneurs. As a reminder, a brand new episode goes live every Monday on Urban One Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit urban1podcast.com to learn more. That's urban1podcast.com.